Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan, and if you're new here, I make houseplant videos. Today I'm going to be going over all of my anthurium collection. Pretty much all of these are still anthurium seedlings, and I've grown most of them myself from seed, which has been quite a challenge, but it's been actually pretty fun learning like the start to end process of growing a plant from a seed, because it's not something that I was familiar with before this. But yeah, if you are interested in seeing the anthuriums that I have and kind of the tips and tricks that I've learned to help grow them pretty quickly, make sure to keep on watching. So the first seedling that I'm going to start with is my anthurium crystallinum crossed with a Magnificum. So this is actually the first seedling that pretty much started it all for me with anthurium. Before this, I had never had like any interest in growing anthurium. I just didn't know a lot about them, and I was primarily focused on philodendron and Hoya and pothos. But I got sent this account by one of my Instagram followers, and he recommended me joining and participating in this seedling race that was being put on by this awesome plant grower. His name's Bryan, and Bryan basically crosses his plants, and then he runs a nonprofit where he sends out seeds, and it's really a good way for people who are new to anthurium to kind of get an idea of what it's like to grow an anthurium in general and from seed. So I decided to participate because I had no idea what the process was like, and I really liked the idea of having a community do it together, where we were like posting update pictures and kind of letting each other know like the substrate we were growing in and the humidity conditions and everything. And just having Bryan there as somebody who knows how to grow anthurium and who's there just as like a resource guide if we were to need anything. So that was really appealing to me, and I decided to give it a try. I initially had one other leaf that was the first leaf on here, but unfortunately I went through a period where I was changing jobs and I just didn't have as much time for my plants as I did before. Just with the transition, and I underwatered it, so it lost the first leaf that it had. But it has since put out this small leaf down here that, again, crisped up on the end because I underwatered it. But then this is the most recent leaf that it put out. And then it's putting out a new one on the way, which is really exciting. And if you don't know much about anthurium in general, basically they'll put out a leaf and it might look really small at first, but it continues to grow and get bigger as like even after the leaf has unfurled. So when this one first came out, it was more along the size of like almost this new one coming in, but it grew to be this big, which was really awesome. And I really do like the crystallinum crosses because I feel like you get that really pretty like sparkly vein in the middle, which is really cool. And that's one of the first things that kind of drew me to anthurium, because other than that I didn't really know anything about them until I saw this in person and was like, this is kind of cool, like I would like to have more of them. But yeah, this is my very first anthurium, and I'm so glad that I got it and started to participate in the seedling races. So the next anthurium is, I think, the only anthurium that I've gotten that hasn't been a seed from the start. I recently went to my favorite nursery ever, Baker's Acres. It's about 45 minutes from where I live, and I saw that they had these anthurium magnificum seedlings, and they were only $20, so I decided to get one. But I really was interested in getting a Magnificum and hopefully eventually just a crystal or crystallinum, because that's what my original seedling is from the first Seedling Race, is a crysxmag cross. So I thought it would be really cool to have like a version of each of the parent plants. But yeah, this is the one of the most recent leaves that it put out, and it's the biggest. And then it already has 2 more on the way, which I'm starting to see now. This section is kind of like it pushed out more growth to the side, which is kind of cool. I really like the shape of the leaves. I think that they're like a really pretty like heart shape. And that's what I'm learning more about too, just like the sinuses and just the different like petioles and abaxials. And yeah, I'm just kind of falling down into the anthurium trench now. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this one grow, and this is the most mature, even though it's not mature, anthurium that I own currently. Okay, so the next seedlings that I have to show you, I purchased, one of the people that I follow on Instagram posted on her story that she had a bunch of anthurium cross seedlings, or seeds that she had, that you could basically buy like a handful of and just pay for shipping pretty much, and she would send them to you. So I decided to get some. I think this was the second purchase that I've ever had that was an anthurium. So I started with the Seedling Race one, and then I was just so enthralled by it that I wanted to get more and learn more and just watch more grow because they're really cool. So these were crysxmag crosses with a dark forgetii. So it's a crysxmag cross with a dark forgetii. I always forget which ones these are, so I have a million tags to help me remember. But she initially sent me 4, but all of the berries that she sent me had a double seed, so I ended up with 8, which I was really excited about because that's given me more that I could send to my friends once they've grown, because I don't need 8 plants, but I think it's cool to share them. But yeah, I've just been growing them. These I started off growing in only moss, and then once they started pushing out more than 1 leaf, I changed them over to a more chunky mix. So it has some orchid bark in it, a little bit of like regular like potting soil, perlite, there are cocoa coir chunks, and then there's still some spag moss in there just to help maintain some of the moisture. But I do think that they prefer more of an aerated mix. I know my one friend recently just put out an anthurium repotting video. That's Jen at Green and Sheen. And she said that her anthurium really like a dirty spag moss mix. So I've been trying to kind of convert some of them over to that type of a substrate, and the ones that I have so far seem to really like it, and they're putting out a lot of new leaves already. These are the ones that I have left. I gave a couple to some local friends and to some of my friends that live across the country that live out of state. And then this is the biggest one that I have so far. So I don't know. Hopefully you can see that, but the leaves are really pretty. So yeah, I'm excited to see these mature a little bit more, because I really want to see how the venation kind of turns out. And once I get more of the parent plants too, like the crystallinum, the magnificum, and a forgetii, I think it'll be really cool to kind of compare some of these crosses and see some of the differences between these plants and like some of the traits that they pick up in the cross versus like the parent plants, which I know they won't be exactly because I won't have like the actual parent plant that it came from, but just like the generalities of what that type of anthurium looks like. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. This one's kind of really taking off quick. I have also realized that they really like to be watered with like a fertilizer, or like right now I'm kind of using a mixture of liquid dirt and CalMag, and that has helped me put out a lot more leaves. I feel like I was underwatering for a long time, and as soon as I started watering more frequently and started to add nutrients to the water, they've really loved it. So yeah, this one, I really love the sheen of this one. So the only part that I've been bad at is actually posting update pictures of my seedlings for the Seedling Race, but they're all still growing and everything's still alive. Sometimes it just slips my mind on like I have to keep posting the updates. But this is another one from a Seedling Race. This is the Viridifolium crossed with Pallidiflorum. This one ended up being like a double seed as well, so that was cool. I feel like it's always fun to like get a berry and then two pop out instead of one. So I've lucked out quite a few times with that. I don't know what kind of determines if that will happen or if there are certain species that are more likely to have double berries, but yeah, this one I'm really excited to see it grow because it's going to be more of a strappy leaf anthurium, which I'm really excited to see grow because most of the ones that I have are more of like that heart shape, more of like a forgetii or Magnificum kind of shape. And yeah, I really am excited to see like long strappy leaves on an anthurium. I think it'll be so pretty. This one's growing in a soil mixture that has some cocoa chips, orchid bark, a lot of perlite. I sometimes throw leca in too just because they're good at holding on to moisture, but they also help with some aeration. But yeah, it seems to really love it, so that's great. And another thing that I found too is if you're growing seedlings, I can pretty much leave mine in an open container if I keep it inside of my IKEA greenhouse. But if you don't have a greenhouse or any kind of cabinet, I ordered these off of Amazon. They're basically just like a kind of like small terrarium kind of thing. It's like a pot and then it has this lid on it that like pops up, and they come with tags. And then the humidity dome you can adjust, so you can just like spin this and open up the holes to allow for more airflow. And the bottom has holes in it too. So it's nice because you can either pot things like directly in here, like sometimes whenever I start them from seed, I just throw spag moss in the bottom and throw the seeds in with the dome, and I have them just sprout right in there. Or once they get to be bigger, if I am running out of room in my cabinet, I'll just put them into a small pot if they're already like in a soil or something, or you could put the soil in here and then I just keep it in here with the lid on, and they seem to like it. I don't really adjust these top parts. I pretty much just keep them closed because I have them in a pot so they get the airflow from the holes in the bottom. But yeah, these have been awesome. So if you're looking for something like this that's pretty cheap, I think I got like a whole sleeve of these for like $15 on Amazon, which wasn't too bad. And they come in different sizes. Okay, so the next one that I have is yet again another anthurium race, or a seedling race plant. So this is a forgetii crossed with a Dresslerix. I don't know if I'm saying that right, so I'll put the name on the screen. This one also ended up being a double, so I have two of them. But I really like these ones. I just recently potted them up into soil. They could probably use watered again, but I really like the sheen on the leaves. I don't know if you'll be able to see it as well. They just have like a real like satiny sheen to them, and they're really pretty, and the leaves are really, really soft. So yeah, this one, again, they were growing really slow at first, and I think I'm going to continue to do updates on where they're at as part of like a video series on my channel. So if you're interested to see kind of where these go, because I know that most of them are really small and you can't really tell like all of the different like features that they have, but I'm think that like doing like an update like every couple months might be cool, just to kind of see the progression of them. But yeah, this one's really cool. I don't have either of the parent types of plants of this one. I have a forgetii cross that I'll show you in a little bit, but those are still seeds. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Okay, so this one is a Magnificum crossed with a forgetii. So again, very tiny leaves, but they don't really have like any pronounced veins yet. So I'm wondering like as it matures what they will start looking like, mostly because compared to my actual anthurium Magnificum, the smaller ones didn't really have pronounced veins, but once they got bigger, they really got like those like pretty Magnificum veins on them. I think that once these start putting off bigger leaves and the leaves really kind of start to take that like fuller form, I am assuming these ones are gonna have more veins, like more pronounced veins, just because like both the forgetii and the Magnificum have very pronounced veins. So I'm excited to see the traits that it picks up. So this one is also very exciting. This is also part of a seedling race, but this is my anthurium viridifolium. It has a viridifolium X at the end, so I don't know if it's just that it was like crossed with itself. This is going to be another one that's like a strappy leaf, which I'm really excited about. This is the longest one that I have so far. This is also a double, but they kind of grew very... Oh, I just dumped water all down me. It's a double, but they're planted like really close together because I didn't realize when I got it that it was a double. And by the time I realized, they already had like intertangled roots, and I just didn't feel like kind of separating them. So I think it's pretty though. It'll end up being like a much larger and like bushier plant. But yeah, I keep seeing pictures of everybody's mature viridifoliums and pillidiforums, and I'm really excited to have strappy leaves. I think that they're going to be so cool, and yeah, I feel like the sheen on them too is really pretty. So, oh, my social media is dying. I'm not very good at just talking for like long periods of time. I get really tired really quick. This is also from a seedling race. This is my anthurium dock block mag F2 crossed with a crystallinum. My other problem is because I don't know that much about anthurium, I don't necessarily know what all of the parents look like. So this one has actually grown pretty quick for me too. I just recently put it into a soil mixture into terracotta, and I just pretty much keep it predominantly like moist, and this one stays in my cabinet, so I don't really have to worry about it drying out too quick, even though it's in terracotta. But yeah, this one has really pretty leaves. It has a lot of that like crystal in the venation. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, they're really pretty. It's putting out a new leaf right now. And I love how they come in more of like that like pinky color before they mature into like the green form. But yeah, I'm, again, like all the other seedlings, just excited to see it grow more because they're just all really small now. Although I am thinking about how I have so many small ones and pretty much no room for when they get big. So like I'm kind of okay with them being small, but I really want to see them get bigger. So I will, like I said, do an update on what these look like in a couple months. But I also don't know if you can see, it's putting out like a very juicy root in there. It's kind of like yellow and fuzzy still. Right there. I think I'm a big fan of like the heart-shaped leaves and the really like sparkly veins on them. I think that's like, in a lot of pictures, it doesn't pick up that that's what they look like, and I think that's why I wasn't as drawn to anthurium at first. But now, even just having these like out and like looking at them, they look like the prettiest glitter that I've ever seen. So these I got from a girl on Marketplace recently, and I can't remember the name of this type of anthurium, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. I was basically just looking for like any kind of anthurium berries, and I don't really have that many anthurium in general, so I'm not really looking for anything that's like super commercially rare or anything, but these ones, this girl, she had just like pollinated her plant and it put out a ton of berries, so she mailed me some. And I'll put the name up on the screen, but they had arrived and they had just rooted, and within this last week, all of them have put out a leaf, which has been cool. I think that these are like bushier anthuriums. I'll try to find pictures of like parent plants of these too. The leaves are really tiny and they really kind of come to, they're really like a teardrop shape. I'm excited to see these ones get bigger. I don't think that I have like many bushy types like this. But yeah, I thought they were cute and I pretty much just had to pay for shipping, so I thought I might as well try it. I really like growing them from seed, and yeah, I basically just keep these in, this is like the container that they came in, but I basically just keep this like glass jar, this is like a yogurt jar, on top of the container in the moss to trap the humidity in here more, and they seem to like it. They've been kind of growing quick, and I only got them like I think a week and a half ago, and they weren't even sprouted yet. And then last but not least, this is kind of a good representation of how I start the berries when I first get them, or the seeds. But I recently ordered, another person on Instagram had a lot of extra seeds that they just were selling in big batches. So I bought a batch of 10. This is a dark forgetii crossed with like a regular forgetii. I ended up getting 10 of them, and I just thought I really like the experience of growing them from seeds, and I like to have more so when they become seedlings I can trade them or give them away to some of my other like plant friends in the area, and just the plant friends that I've made across YouTube so far and Instagram. So I got a bunch of seeds, and I don't know if you can see them in there, but they're just little green dots right now. And I can insert like a better clip so that way you can see. But I do have one in this top corner up here that is already starting to root, which is awesome. Oh, and I ordered 10 of them, but I ended up getting 11, which was really exciting too. I love when there's extra. And I also think like it's fun to have more, because I eventually want to test like some in soil, some in moss, and some in pond, because I've really been getting into pond lately, and I think that might be a good way to grow anthurium, just because they like to pretty much be like, not in like sopping wet soil, but they like the soil to be pretty wet. So I think that just having like a couple extra will be cool just to do some of those experiments with. I thought I lost one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, and now that I'm looking at these a little bit closer, it looks like quite a few of them are starting to put out little tiny roots. So I'll try to take like a closer up video of it so that you can see them. But I think it's like really fun to watch. I know I keep saying this, but like watching them start as seeds, because they usually will just put out this like super fuzzy new root, and then you just kind of like watch it just break open and push a leaf out, which I don't know, I've not really grown many things from seeds, so to kind of see it from the very start of its life is really cool. And that's something that I eventually would like to do, is to learn how to cross them, and how to pollinate anthurium in general, because I think it would be really cool to just watch the berries grow off of the flower and harvest them. So yeah, I'm excited to see these ones sprout, and I just like getting a handful of them anyway because they're fun to trade and share. I didn't ever think that I was going to be into anthurium, and if it weren't for my friend sharing that with me, I probably wouldn't have started. I hope that you like this video. I know that my anthurium collection is both small in quantity and pretty small in size since they're all seedlings, but if you're anything like me and you're new to anthurium, I think that seeds are a really cool way to get into it. And I'll leave all of the information below for the Seedling Race series that I was talking about. I think it's like every couple months a new Seedling Race will come out, and you can buy a seed and participate in it by posting updates of it, and there's even like prizes if you end up having like the most leaves or the biggest leaf or the prettiest leaf, and the community kind of votes on it, which is pretty cool. But I think that this has also been just a cool way to kind of connect with more of the full growth cycle of a plant, because most of the plants that I have, I've already picked up as like not fully like mature plants, but they're pretty much already started and growing in the greenhouses when I get them. So this was kind of a cool project to start for me, just to kind of learn something new and also kind of challenge me a bit because I'd never done it before. But yeah, anyways, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up because it helps me. And if you want to see more videos about my collection, how I grow different types of plants, or anything like that, make sure to hit the bell so that way you're notified of any videos that I have coming out. And just a super quick shout out to my plant friend Jasmina. She makes really cute merch, and I will leave all of her information below if you want to check out her stuff. But I got this mug recently and I absolutely love it. But anyways, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.